Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another round of Deckers. It's been quite a romp and quite a ride. We've had flubs, mistakes, miscalculations, but overall, some damn good Deckers play. Uh, I'm ready to go ahead and admit that I think the five-handed solo doesn't really work. Oh, this needs to be flushed. Five-handed solo doesn't really work for a couple reasons. The biggest one being um, most of the objectives I've been forced to do as uh, not five-handed, but four-handed. Um, and while I do think that my compensatory strategies have been okay, the end result is still that I'm technically not doing anything different than would be happening at. Oh wow, that is quite jerky. Go ahead and make sure that I'm not doing anything I don't need to be on the computer right now to speed this up a little. But anyway, yeah, like I was saying, the end result is that it's very similar to what I would have gotten experience-wise playing four-player. Oh, we just lost the feed. Well, that's definitely not desirable. Let's see if we can't fix that. Technical difficulties. Okay, we're back. Good, good. Hopefully that's a little bit smoother. Not exactly. Do I restart? I think at this point I would still be best served by just pressing forward. Um, but if I can think of anything else to do to improve it, I will. Lucky for me, it's a turn-based game, so perfect smoothness in my actions is less needed than when I stream other things. So, that's I'll save more of those thoughts for post-game. Let me go ahead and quickly set up real quick here. But in-game, our Radical Turtle team has successfully managed to break into the Technodrome's outer defenses, penetrate its inner defenses, and crack through to the gold level security, defeating the Technodrome. Now, from deep inside the Technodrome, can they execute the final Shellshock? Any time that they do is to be considered a success, but the ultimate success would require 5 completions. At this stage, we cannot be defeated. If we are knocked out of the grid by Guardian formation, running out of sparks, etc., I would not consider that a loss, merely a failure to overwin. Similarly, I wouldn't consider this a 2.1 or 2.0 win because we played without white sparks, which would have been a mandatory component. We did play with the targeted server effect, however, and that's definitely been a huge part of why this has been as hard as it's been. Just the sheer difficulty of keeping up with this many servers all getting attacked constantly cannot be understated. And I'm really glad that you all had the chance to see it in person as well, so it's not just, me that noticed it. Okay, so how does this phase work? Mother's Ghost, can you all see that? You can see that pretty well. Mother's Ghost. Have at least one program of each Decker's color on this card. That includes purple. Place the Mother's Ghost on space 6 of the active Decker's current server. It is considered a White Guardian, but it is not a White Guardian, nor does it take one out of the box. If there are programs of the same color on each space adjacent to Mother's Ghost, active Decker may perform the Shellshock action from any space on the network. It also doesn't specify that this setup happens more than once. It's not every turn or at any phase, so it's just one and done. Pay double red, double yellow, double green, double blue. Remove 3 programs from... And it doesn't specify that they have to be the matching ones. Any 3 programs from any spaces adjacent to Mother's Ghost, remove the ghost. When a Decker removes the ghost, put one program of that Decker's color from supply, or network, on this card. Then place the Mother's token on 6 of that Decker's current server. What does this mean strategy-wise? Oh, and I did specify at the start of last video that my intention was not to give myself all of these back, but give myself 2 each as a reward for having overshot the minimum requirements. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Because I cannot convince myself that these are supposed to come back just because the gold card doesn't list them. I don't know if that was intentional because, you know, that's a huge depletion, but for time being, those are out of supply. The supply box is empty right now except for these two pink programs. So for your own viewing pleasure, this little corner here represents the subtotal of what I have available in supply. And I'll also take out the Guardians because a Guardian count could become useful very quickly. We're at 2 Guardians available. The decks are shuffled, the market reset. Let's get our starting hands dealt. A little bit of strategy. My thought process right now is if I start with blue or yellow, I can have the Guardian drop on top of blue or yellow, right? And sorry, have the Mother's Ghost drop on top of blue or yellow and kill their Guardian immediately. However, if I start with purple, I have to figure out how to get back, of course. But once I'm able to, I can make a purple program and ideally use that purple program here, or drop it off here, and that would result in having a perfect circle with the Shellshock in it. And then not this turn, but next turn, we would go ahead and take yellow or blue to commit the Shellshock action. So that's the strat. We'll see what the cards say we can do. Game is on. Everybody, good luck, have fun. Turtle power. We've got 3, 6, 9, 12 sparks available. We have 4 sparks available. We have an incoming Heart of the Technodrome. I want a body. We have Prime Decker here with a Deception Strike and a Reroute. So if he gets to any place that has 2 sparks on it, he can Deception Strike one of them into a yellow and then turn it into a purple. That's going to require him to be on specifically this server, though. So it's unlikely unless he rolls pink server or self server. I'm going to have the sparks spawn first and the turn initiate second. That maximizes the odds of, well, if I do that, then I'm going to get spark, 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 right? That means in theory I can go get here, make a yellow, convert. Just 1, 2. Oh, no, I'd have to move that too. So somehow worry about pushing or grabbing that as well. It's a lot to do in one turn, but it is possible. Ultimately, if all he does is find an empty space in which to make a spark with 3 wilds if necessary, oh sorry, not a spark, a purple program, that's fine. Someone else can worry about shipping it over here. Route access. Ooh, route access is huge, and we've got 2 different ways to buy it. So yeah, getting the Shellshock off should be very possible. We must remember that we are under spider effects, so getting surrounded and losing things is still a factor in this game. Leonardo is looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He has enough to commit a Shellshock right here, and I'm pretty sure Shellshock is 2, 4, 6, 8. Yep. So Leo is capable of Shellshocking with the contents of his hand, with something to spare. What about Mikey? Mikey is double yellow, double blue, double green, single wild. He's missing a red. Double red, double blue, double yellow, single green. But single green could buy him this, which could in turn buy him nothing. He's a little bit short. He's a little bit short. Mikey is a little bit short for doing the Shellshock right away, so he might be the second in line to do it. Does he have anything to discard? No, he has no discard helping. Okay, what about Leo? Leo's job is primarily going to be setting other people up with Shellshocks. He does need to do it at least once himself. What about the Eternal Warrior, Raphael? He's got double red, double green, double yellow, double blue. He is armed and dangerous also. So, ready to Shellshock, ready to Shellshock, possibly ready, not really, not ready, not ready. Okay, I think that's everything. We'll take these. And I gotta go over this one more time. If I drop it on him and then roll sparks, if I didn't end up on purple, I'm more likely to spark red, green, blue, or yellow. Sparking green is irrelevant. Sparking blue, 1, 3, 4 is safe. Sparking yellow is optimal because these are all convertible. No, there's no yellow base anymore, so actually not optimal. Uh, this is the best place to get sparked, frankly. So we'll stay put. We're gonna begin by I'm the act. Oh, I don't get to choose. It's a setup step, not a start of turn step. So yeah. Okay. The mother is active. Lands on me. Relocate to a random square, and we will choose yellow 4. That's actually not terrible. We have a spark we can work on. Pick a server. Green. That's not what I want, but I will manage. 1, 1 again, and 3, because we don't do guardians, the spider phase. Okay. Is it possible? I can't carry this. I can push it. I can move myself 2 spaces over here. That's easy enough. I can... what's in the market? I could buy a digital tattoo and use it to buy a root access, which I could reveal for more symbols. I can use the Deception Strike to make this a yellow. Move 2 over here. I don't have what it takes to do the modify action. I would need multiple yellows. Or I would need the installation, which I don't have. I can't double push. I can only single push. I could single push it here. With a double move, I can get back on the pathway. That doesn't help. With a triple move, I could do something, but I don't have value added there. I really need to make a spark. Okay, what about the other direction? What about just making the spark? Or is it making the purple? I have got 2 wilds. If I throw this in, that's 3 wilds, right? And then that leaves me with movement, or hell, throw this in. And that leaves me with enough movement to put the spark over here, or put the purple over here. It's extremely inefficient. I don't love this move, but if that's what the game calls for. These together could buy me the root access. The root access is itself enough to make the purple we need. So that's probably a good choice. I don't want this card back in the pile because it's not a particularly easy to buy card. So we're gonna oh, these are supposed to be discards, right? Let's move them lower. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and pay this as well as RFG this to purple's box. And have Master Splinter buy root access. We can't actually make good use of its reveal effect right now. Could we? What's my intention with it? If it's a blue, I can use the reveal effect to move onto this space. If it's a green, I can use the reveal effect to do what? I can use it along with something else to push. I can use it along with something else to buy. I don't think that's great. We could... If it's not blue, what else could it be? Red, green, yellow. If it's yellow, What am I using it for? I'm not able to ghost my action anywhere. So I really do need it to specifically be blue to be useful. If it's double green, it's fine. If it's double green, it's fantastic, actually. If it's a single green, then I can... See, here's the thing. I want to use the Deception Strike on this to make it yellow. I want to use the Sidekick on this to get rid of it, just to reduce the spark burden. Then I want to use the movement to get to here, and then I want to make my purple. That's like the ultimate turn. This spark cannot reach here in 2 pushes. This one can reach here in 1, 2, or 1, 2 pushes. I can make use of 2 pushes to get to here. Green and a wild card does it. Double green does it. Do we use the reveal or don't we? Is there any circumstance in which I want this to stay a spark? No. But I could sidekick it away and then use something I've drawn from the bottom to make a new green here. And keep the root access for his version of Shellshocking. There is another consideration, which is if I can move 2 spaces here and make yellows, I can remove the yellows and green when I shell shock and keep the purple net intact. It's a lot of programs to not lose. If only I could carry Sparks with me, but I'm not Leonardo. I think after all these considerations, I'm going to go ahead and Deception Strike here and use this to get the yellow made. Now, go ahead and reveal with root access. It's a double push. Well, that changes things. Oh, sorry, it's a green and wild, I should say. It's not a double push. It's green and wild. I can use it how I like. One option is to double push this here and here. Then move. I can't get that far. Double push this here and here. Move carrying over my yellow. And I don't have the yellow symbols either anymore. So what is a green and wild going to do for me here? If I use the green and 3 blues to make another wild, I have 2 wilds. 2 wilds isn't great. If I just use the wild card for movement, honestly, it's probably fine. So move 1, 2, 3, spending the blues. And carry the yellow with me. 1, 2, 3. Am I leaving the yellow behind here on purpose? Yes, I think I am. We'll go ahead and spend the triple wild and keep this in reserve. So that makes me my last required pink program. Alright, we've got the heart of the Technodrome surrounded. It's time for a Shellshock. Draw another 5. It looks like he's got double red, double yellow, double green, and plenty of wilds for a blue. If we were so inclined, Master Splinter could go again and Shellshock this guy immediately. From his current position, he can push a green onto this territory, and that would be enough to spend the yellow, 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 and green, putting this Splinter right back where we need him. Alternatively, we can have Leonardo go. Leonardo can get off his Shellshock, pull Mother over here, but then we're going to have to work on making a a surround from scratch. Yeah, no, it's a no-brainer. We have the surrounding net built. Let's totally use it. Leonardo? Sorry, not Leonardo. Master Splinter, you're up again. Yellow gets sparked. It's 1, it's 4, it's 5. Checking for strangles. There are none. This still has a breathing room. This should have been strangled if anything, but nope, breathing room, breathing room. Everyone's alive. Okay, great. So, oh, we even have the single push. Go ahead and remove this from game to buy additional tattoo. Actually, is that more useful for other people? No, because we're gonna need the blue this turn. It's actually perfect for Master Splinter right now. Use this to buy this, and then use this to buy this. Alright, in an ideal world, we would push 1 to put the green on this network to get all of these 1, 2, 3 set, or produce yellow to produce ample yellows. Oh no, we're not ghosting to here. We're ghosting to here. So that's not even an option. He could push this green potentially. This is going to be the hardest place to shell shock out of, so we should do this one last if possible. Green should not shell shock until the last player. That way we can work on everyone else instead. Blue is already halfway to bordering, but we're not going to be able to move all these purples over. We're going to have to use yellows and reds. Red is decently set up for a green haul. If we produce one more yellow, then we can use the yellows as sacrifices when we're done shocking. I kind of like that. Double red, blue, yellow, double green, single yellow. What are we missing? What about this? Okay, we need 8 symbols. That's 7. And that's 8 symbols. Can we do it with less? What does this do? Relocate a thing or a thing from anywhere on the network directly to your space. Oh, ho, 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 ho. He can relocate. Wait. We can cheese the Technodrome location by using this. Okay, that's staying in reserve. And after we've put the Technodrome in a bad place, or the heart of the Technodrome in a bad place, we drag it back to wherever is netted to go again. Oh, I like this very much. Okay. Shellshock, right. Yellow, yellow, red, red, green, green, blue, blue. These stay unused. Well, can we do better? If there's any way to not use a single wild. What is in the shop again? No, it's double yellow. It's not worth thinking about. If these were sacrificed to buy the double yellow from the shop, then what do we get? We get make the 2 yellows. This is 7 symbols. It's not enough. So it's basically make a yellow, and then double red, double green, double blue, double yellow, shell shock. I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a 1 symbol inefficiency. And there's no way to make this efficient, so that's fine with me. First, spend an X to make a yellow. Second, listen, my sons. The only way you can defeat the Technodrome is to shell shock it. Red, red. Oh, that's another red. Oh, crap. Did I not math this correctly? Double red, double yellow, or double green, double blue. Yeah, there's 1 extra symbol. It's an extra red. So, ignoring the single red, 1, 2, 3 wilds, and that's one double red, double yellow, double green, double blue. Shellshocker! This is killed. Splinter gets a pink X on the Shellshock target goal. But, unfortunately, we must remove 3 programs of any color from the surrounding spaces. We pick these. And Mother's Ghost is put on space 6 of that Decker's active server. Or that Decker's current server, not their home server. Oh, that's a big oversight. Before we conduct this shell shock, is there any way that I can use this to my advantage? Because that's a tremendous oversight on my part. 1, 2, 3, 4. The whole point of using Splinter was the idea that we can use a movement to get, back onto the server that I think I'm on. Double yellow, double green, double blue, double red. Double yellow, double green, double blue, double red. Yes. Okay, thank God. This is reparable. So we'll use a movement. Where is the card that we used to make that single yellow spark? Why are these all red cards? I'm holding Raphael's cards. That's what's wrong. Okay, whew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Much better. Is it even possible to do this without tripping that particular misread? Well, if we use this for we have a yellow and a green, and I believe a spare yellow was the situation. Well, no, this would be the one I have to produce. If we use a single movement to get back onto the purple server, use a double red, double green, double blue, single yellow, there's no way to arrange these to use 8. If I use these as 4, 6, and 8, that's a double blue, a double green, a double red, double yellow. This is a precise shell shock, which leaves me 2 extra symbols to work with. Oh, but I can't even ghost an action onto there to make the yellow in the first place. That would not have been legal. So it's kind of a moot point. This is no longer a retcon. This is a making right what was wrong. There are no bridges or blues or anything else around here that would be workable. And here's the rub. If I shell shock and I have to give up a purple program, the net is broken and no one else can make purples but me. So it becomes moot. I can shift this into place and then move Mother over here. But I cannot both move into there and break it. I could use a neural splash to drop a whole lot of greens into where it would be a safe net. But then double red, double blue, double yellow. Is there a system? Double red. Yeah, no, there's no way to do it. With that, what about the cards in the purchase space? Did I refill the market yet? Yeah, I bought this somehow. I upgraded a single green into a green blue. God, I love this game. It makes me really scratch my brain even when I have things solved. thinking ahead, if I do give up the ghost and pull this here, I don't even have the benefit of... Wait, there is a trick. I got it. I'll use my movement, but instead of moving here or here, I'll move here. Then we'll do the Shellshock, and then we'll use the grapple winch, the magnetic pulse, and the magnetic pulse will pull this monstrosity next to me, and we'll be ready for another Shellshock. Or better yet, what is the most easily surrounded square I can use? I think it's here, because even when we've removed a few programs, I'll still have plenty of purples, and it's an easy enough job to just do a couple shifts, like 1, 2, 3 shifts while to do it, give or take. What about here? 1, 2, 3 shifts still. What about... I'm on the path, so what about here? Here, it's even doable with greens, maybe? Maybe? I don't know. If I'm using purples here, it's still... It's actually more. It's 1, 2, 3, 4-ish, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then something else. Yeah, this is wrong. These spaces are central, so I don't want to use those. There is no blue path extender possibility. There is a carbon clone. Is that something I've failed to factor into my plans? If we trade the replicant jar for the carbon clone... No, the whole point of it would be to clone the replicant jar. And it's going to cost more than I can gain. So yeah. Okay, we have a plan. Step 1, movement. And this one's legal, unlike my last one. Step 1, do I want to buy the digital tattoo to help dig through the market? I don't see how it helps me, but let me really quickly think that through as well. If I green-blue, use this for movement, and I use digital tattoo for green, I have double red, double green, double blue, single yellow. I will be short on symbols. I really do need this for double blue, double green, double yellow, double red. Generate a single movement. And use that single movement to carry myself to here, I believe is correct. 1, 2, 3 pushes is still adequate. Yep. Then, alright, my chansons, here is what you must do. Oh, no, 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 no. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Because the No, it does work. It does work. Yes, okay. Double red, double green, double yellow, double blue. Shellshocker! Get that purple. It resumes on its current space. And then I activate... Oh, and I remove 3 programs. 1, 2, 3. Not from the game, just destroy them, right? Yes. And I'm picking this one because magnetic pulse. Move a installation or a white or blue guardian, a white or black guardian to my space. Which means I have to get knocked to a random space on the grid, which is 5 yellow, believe it or not. But more importantly, he is in a surroundable location. Splinter has done very well with 2 very good turns. If I do say so myself, I'm quite happy with that outcome. So now we are 1/5 the way to victory and 2 out of 15 turns. Radical. We only have 2 turns left before we are in trouble. So let's see who's going to go next. Leonardo is my first thought because he had a lot of symbols. Uh, Raphael. Raphael is also a really good idea because he's got the potential to move reds around when he's done. There are enough reds in supply to make 3 more of them and just kind of spread them out here. Let's see what his cards say. He'll need at least 2 pushes, if not 3, to set things up right. So 1, 2. He's got the exact right number of commands. Any less, and then he won't have enough. He needs an already set up mother shot. But there is a ping nexus available. There is a ping nexus available on our a battle commander Splinter. So if he goes double push, discard, triple push, 1, 2, 3 sets up the ghost. Can he generate what he needs? Double red, double yellow, double blue, single green. It's just a little short. Oh, this should have been refilled, sorry. You can buy the reroute, but you can't use it. What is it double exactly? What is... Discard this card when any decker plays another card for its commands to double the commands generated by that card. Yeah, no, that's not going to do it. So Raphael is not positioned to set up and execute. Double yellow, double yellow, double blue, double blue, double red. So that's double blue, double green if the wilds. Decoy duck is available. Mikey has a shot, but he will need a lot more green than he has to set this up, and he doesn't have the green. Who else we got? Donnie is the ultimate setter-upper, so he can set up the kill, but I'd rather he set up the next kill if possible, not this one. Because I'm not looking for him to lose his whole base just yet. Remove 2 of any color from your space to place an installation. That's interesting. Hologate, that's interesting. So greens, blues, yellows, reds, and a triple shift. If we just reserve that for a triple shift, or this for a triple shift, or whatever, that's reds, yellows, greens, and blues. I think Leonardo's up. And the best part is Leonardo kind of doesn't mind dropping dropping the ghost on his server. He's one of the ones who needs that. So yeah, we're good. Go ahead and roll. Spark me. Pink. You know, it's funny that you should pick pink. This is a white guardian, so it actually gets skipped, thanks to spider rules. Now, we need to set up a net, and then we need to fire. There is no benefit in being on purple server when it drops. Is there a benefit in being on yellow? There is a benefit in being on red, because red is inherently more set-upable, net-wise. So let's go ahead and math out what the minimum number of cards we need to execute a kill is here. We need 3 pushes, which I'm very happy to use Splinter's assist of 1 to get the 3 pushes in 1 card. This red is useless. No, this red is 2 reds, 2 blues, yellow. There's no way to do it without using this card. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 symbols, perhaps. 2 reds, 2 blues, 2 yellows. Sorry, 2 reds here, 2 blues, 2 yellows, 2 greens. And there's no other card that can do it. You'll be left with a single red card in hand, which we can either keep in hand or we can use. There is no spare time for moving. Is there a way to do this by movement instead? If I use triple move from the Hologate to go 1, 2, free move 3, it'll be something like that. It'll be, you can't stack purples, so it'll have to be move all the way to here for free. Or it'll have to be here, 1. Here, 2, but then you're trapped. A single blue program would have made this whole network so much more versatile. But as it is, I think we're going to be stuck using it just as green. So basically, you can't do both at once. You can't set up a kill and perform a kill. And he doesn't even have the tools to leave his home square and do all of this. But you know what? He's going to get a free Guardian kill, and we have enough sparks in reserve. It's fine. Just go for it. So, double green, discard ping nexus. That's 3 pushes. 1 push, 2 push, and 3 push, I guess. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Then, double blue, double yellow, double green, double red. For honor! Shellshock! Now, Mother will immediately relocate to square 6 of the offending attack. And from supply, we will add a blue token. This will force Leonardo to relocate to a random square on the network, namely yellow 2. My god, they're throwing all of us to the yellow server. While he's here, he's got a single red, but there's nothing he can do with it. So he's just going to stay put. And we'll keep that in reserve for if we need to roll a fight down the road. Go ahead and draw 5. These are upside down. Let me fix that. Discard pile up here. Draw deck. Current hand. Draw deck, current hand, and you, unfortunately, are in a weird spot because my table is insufficient. Okay, now who's up? Well, that's the question, isn't it? I can pick anyone, but whoever it is needs to have a plan for eliminating lots of sparks. Nobody's drawn their EMPs yet. What did Leo just draw, actually? I don't remember to check. He has an emit EMP, a sidekick, a catalyst, and movement ability. He does not have pushing abilities, which would have been nice. And we must remember the goal of the game is to actually... I mean, we've already won, but we want to get 2 more shell shocks or 3 more shell shocks out of this. So if there's any way to set up a surround on server 6, that would be ideal. He's got the Nidum ship, so he doesn't have to stay where he is at all. He could use the Nidum ship to show up here, potentially. And then execute a push. No. Execute a double move to bring reds where they need to be so that he can blow up 3 sparks with an emit EMP. And then clear a singleton with this catalyst or something like that. And then still have some moves left over. If he Nidum ships up to here, and then double moves to move 2 sparks, he can't move 2 sparks, he can only move 1. If he Nidum ships up to here, and then double moves 1, 2, nope, that won't do it either. If he Nidum ships up to here and moves 1, 1, 2, no, none of these work. Nidum ships up to here, 0, 0, 0, grab spark, 1. No, he doesn't get the move ability when he Nidum shifts. So this whole plan is irrelevant. With 2 movements, he can bring a single spark and a single red here with 2 movements. That might be enough, because then he emit EMPs, wipes out 3 sparks. That's the opposite direction we want to go. What we want him to do is show up here, or anywhere, I guess. Move Move. Nope. Here. Move. 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 Does that work? No. This works. Start here. One movement, two movements. Attack. Win. Kill 4 sparks. Move again. Come back to here. Make a bunch more reds. So 0 progress on the core objective, but he's starting to set up a red net. But this is the wrong place for the net. The net needs to be here. Okay. Well, you can't have it both ways. Either he's setting up a net, or he's killing sparks. There are enough red sparks, or red programs in the game, that I can both make some here and have some left over for here. No, that's not true. The magnetic pulse has already been used. I'm not going to be able to restore it or pull that same trick twice. I'm very glad I pulled it off once, to be honest. And they all have to be the same color, right? There are things of the same color. Yeah. Techno Twins don't currently have the tools to shock, but Leo doesn't need to shock again. So it's actually better to use his abilities to do things that aren't shocking and set up shocks with him for other people. Alright, I think I've made up my mind. We're doing Leo. Let's go ahead and roll for sparks. Did I spark him yet? No, I didn't. It's pink. Pink is getting sparks. So we are at game loss levels of risky right now. Without leaving the comfort of my own area, I could 2-move, carry a spark here, or not a spark, move myself there, and double up sparks next door to me. Make some more reds, EMP to clear some space. None of these are great plans. We do have 3 Guardians to work with. If I do a push here and a push here and make a bunch of Guardians, it looks deadly, but there's nothing that's going to make them explode. And that would put 1, 2, 3-ish turns back into circulation for 1 card. It's tempting. To be honest, it's tempting. It would just be a matter of making sure Mikey is set up for the next big shot. And Mikey doesn't have the cards right now, correct? So he needs to go just to flush his hand. Double blue, double yellow, double red, singleton that doesn't get me anywhere. Actually, there is a way to move that to my advantage. If I buy the duality with this, and then buy the... No, if I use the decoy duck to buy the carbon, and then I use this to buy back the decoy duck, I will effectively have 2 4 yellow symbols. But I can use one of those to double this, so it's double blue, double yellow, double green, double red. I don't know what I just said, but I'm fairly sure that this is workable. So yeah, setting up a kill shot for Mikey and then using Mikey. So I guess the play is use Leo to reduce sparks, use Donatello to set up a kill remotely, and then fire it. And for that to work, does Donatello have the ability to make and move reds? At most, he can make a couple reds. 3, 4, 5-ish maybe? Tops. Also, there should be a strangulation risk on the board now because of the pink server being hit. Oh wait, there's a huge strangle risk. This is at risk. But only those, it looks like. I think we are ready to lose the ghosting station on that server, potentially. But it would be ideal not to. So, Leo's already here. Can Leo somehow fight on the server he's on? He doesn't have any reds to work with except this pseudo-red. if he moves over to that, and then declares an attack, he can EMP those. Then he can, yeah, like for example, he can item ship over to here, right? EMP those. Then he can double move over to here, right? And then he can attack those, and then he can sidekick that, and then just clear out all of that mess. But I think it's better to abandon that server altogether. When it's Mikey's turn to shock, let's have him shock somewhere that's a little easier to set up. But we want to move this guy here to kill the Guardian. I'm overthinking it. I gotta move on. Alright, Leo's turn. Game plan is gonna be what we discussed here, so knight him ship. Leave carrying a spark with me, why not? Oh no, yeah, I do get to carry things with me. Where do I want this spark? Here, I guess? And then double move. To come this way, pick this up and do this. And better yet, use this double move instead. Then, from my current space, emit EMP. Just 2 plus 7, 11, 13 versus 7. That's a dead. These are both dead as well. Double move again. That's fine. 1. 2, I guess. That might be better. That's better. Roll to kill. Oh, he can't roll to kill once he leaves a square. Well then, let's carry all of these this way. Yeah, the play was 1, 2 up and down, right? Why not instead go 1, 2 this way? Now you're cooking. And now we can declare an attack with a single card. 4 versus 1. That's 6 versus 5 for a win. And we can declare another attack remotely, or better yet, this is a pink, which I can treat as a yellow, and a spark. I don't have a yellow, I can't use the modify action, forget it. But I can use the execute ability to remove a spark from an adjacent space. So for any of these spaces or their adjacencies, I can remove 1 spark. And I'm betting you if I pick this one, nope, still surrounded. This one, not surrounded, not surrounded. I resolve the strangle effect completely. That was an amazing turn that despite everything stacked against it, I managed to sort of kind of set up the beginnings of a net. I brought the 3 reds home, and I managed to clear out enough sparks to buy myself 2 extra turns, and I managed to keep anything from being strangled. So That's it's about all you can ask from one turn. Um, I still don't think we get to 5 Shellshocks. I think 3 is easy, 4 is very difficult, 5 will be insane if we pull it off. Um, who's the best to go next to set up Mikey with a kill shot? I think we agreed Donatello would be the one to go. So let's let's get ready to think about how good old Donnie can pull that off. Hmm. All right. So if we're gonna get Donatello up hypothetically, still haven't committed. How many turns do we have left? We've spent 5, right? We've got all of his turns 8, all of his turns 11. We have all the turns we need, actually. We're not behind. It feels like we're behind, but we're not behind. If he went, his opportunities to shell shock are pretty much nil. He's got double yellow, double green, double red, single blue that can somehow shenanigan maybe a little. So his turn is definitely a setup turn. But he is the frickin' Donatello. He can set up from anywhere. He has the potential to do a double push, create Guardian, and relieve Spark problem. Uh, he has the opportunity to infect remotely. There's numerous spaces that can be remote infected, either before or after a push. Is there any server that has lost its green ghosting station? Currently, no. Currently, every server has it. He can also ghost an item ship for shipment purposes. So one possibility would be produce 2 reds, make that 3 somehow, and then there's no way to carry them everywhere, is there? It's a shame that this thing isn't here. Even with the pinks out of commission, we could just circle around it, sort of. He actually isn't that well positioned to do a setup turn, now that I'm looking at it objectively. He can do a double push to spread these out, make 2 more, do a double push to move them mostly around, but still not here. He can do an item. He would need to produce an extra spark. And is there anybody who's got a discard for an ability feature? No. Nope, everybody's spent their interrupts. Oh, Carbon Clone is discardable to help others. So potentially he could say make 2, turn that into 4, but that doesn't help any. We don't need that many. Could we leave these behind? If we don't go with Donatello, if we go with the twins, they can execute a shock with the help of the carbon clone, but they can't set one up. Leonardo, if he can set up a shock, he's already done his duty of doing a kill, so really he would be a free agent. And what he would essentially do is he would use his mobility to spread the 3 reds he has, either by ghosting or by direct movement, across half the server. Then he would make 3 new reds, or 3 new reds, and then he would move those around to finish the job. He can set up the surround in 1 turn, as long as he doesn't have to worry about the kill, the spark problem, because we are going to flood with sparks. There's a lot of places that could potentially lose access to their ghosting stations if that happens. From where he is, he can declare an EMP attack on 2, but that will cost him his double red, which is a huge loss right now. If he does that, he can play this for 1 and maybe 2 more red production here, and he can get most of a surround, but not a full surround, because we really need the extra red at that point. He can make all the reds, but not move them very easily. There are no yellows that can help here. There's an inadequate number of pinks to perform a surround with. So he's an interesting choice. He's probably the correct choice, but we'll get back to him. Master Splinter is beyond useless right now. The only thing he can potentially do is somehow find a way to make that last pink so that there's enough pinks to do a surround. And that doesn't actually help. He can also declare 1, 2, 3 separate attacks if but that's again, that's a job for Leo. If we're just trying to kill Sparks and nothing else, then Leo's the obvious choice because he can just declare 1 attack, declare 2 attacks, declare 3 attacks, right? Or he can ghost in action to to carry them all here and get them onto a kill box or something, right? Like he can do real work. He can 1, 2 move all of these Sparks here. With 2 movements ghosted to here, he could potentially leave the network, return to the network, leave the network, pull 2 Sparks. And then he could, or better yet, he could ghost in action to here, bring the Spark here, pull it on, that's 1. That's 2, no, that doesn't do it. He could ghost in action to here, 1 to put this in the network, and then move all of these Sparks over to here so that it's a kill box ready to happen. And then he could nuke it and kill 3 Sparks in 1 turn. Like that. And then he would produce 1, 2 more reds, but that's still not enough to get the surround. And the market's useless here. There's nothing in the market that's going to help. Alternate strategy. This is Mikey? Yeah. Mikey can make 2, 4, 6 yellow from here. I'm not even going to consider that. It's not a great play. Raph hasn't gone yet. If Raph was to spend 2 movements, three, 4. I'm worrying too much about spark management. We have 2 full turns before I have to do anything with them, and we have guardians to spare right now. So it's okay for me to be a little bit lazier about that. So we're gonna let Leo go with the view that he is not on spark duty. He is purely on setup duty. Well, okay, but by that logic, I like the emit EMP better. Can Donatello do it? And we'll keep this guy in reserve. If Donatello goes, oh my god, this is why my vids take an hour per 2 hours per cycle, because I think of everything I can. If Don were to go and he makes 1, 2, ultimately 3-ish, he can even ghost a creation action to make 2 reds in a non-space, and then 2 reds in a space. So he can make 4 reds with this, and then he can push them to where they need to be. He can set up the full kill all by himself. Or he can produce I think I did that backwards. Yeah, this would be to make 2 reds on a non-space. So he can't make 4, he can make 3 at best. 2 reds on a non-space, 1 red on the actual space, and then so it'd be like make 2 reds here, make 1 red here, double push, knight him ship. 2 and 1 is 6, so yeah, so he can spread it around. So why am I not just doing him? Because also there's another factor. The longer I wait to use him, the more likely that we're going to lose some ghosting stations. We have been extremely close to losing this one multiple times. So his ability to manipulate servers becomes less useful the longer this game goes. Uh, Really quickly, I'm going to look at the rest of the cards in his deck to decide if what I'm digging for as well. There's a Deception Strike, there's an RRI, there's another Ghostable Creation, there's Microbionics, which could be very helpful. There's a Copycat, and there's a Store Flush. Yeah, he's the guy to go, 100%. We need to get to his good cards, and we have not yet. So, Donnie, you're up. He's actually had really bad luck drawing his power cards. Spark Me. Pink. Actually not where I wanted them, because unfortunately that puts us back in the everything is dead territory. This will die, this will die, assuming we do nothing to protect it. Just these two. And that's a problem because later on, this will be impossible to get a surround on without first clearing this mess out. Lucky for me, I'm playing the one guy who can remote manipulate everywhere. So for example, if we were to go push, push, Guardian, if I can somehow do everything I need to with 2 pushes being reserved to Guardian, and I can glom these together, that still is a strangle situation, unfortunately, for this. But not for this. I could also go this to Guardian, and then everything's okay again. That might actually be okay. I could also use this as a yellow-red to make that into a red. You know, just as one more way of making a red. That doesn't do me any favors, though. Yeah, I'm going to reserve this to make Guardians, I suspect. Because I don't think I have the inclination or the time to prep a lot of spark killing right now. We could do this. Essentially what we would be doing is we could ghost a movement action. No, we can't. This game is so hard. We could get a double yellow creation and then we can use the carbon clone to double this, make 3 reds here, and then use the appropriate amount of pushes to go red, red, red. That's 1. To go 1, 2, 3 more pushes when needed. So 1, 2, and then we can use the item ship and finish the job. So this could get us there. We can do this plus a single wild. And then use these. If I use this plus a single wild, that's a total of 3, right? Here. And then with a item ship, I could pick up and drop off 2. And then I could double push them like so. And then we would have red, red, red. It doesn't do it. Was it here? Yeah, so this I can produce 3. With a single item ship, I can pick up 2 of these and drop them off here, or anywhere really. Microbionics could save the day. We can collect all of the sparks from where they're a problem. But at this point, 1, 2, 3 servers are going to be guardianed. So it would be blue and red that would be the dumping grounds. We can also just abandon the yellow server like we were originally planning. What's wrong with killing some guardians? Or anything. Like, what if we just devote this whole turn not to setting up, but just to killing sparks everywhere? Declare 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks. We kill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 piles of sparks. Well, that doesn't get us closer to winning the game is the problem. And by that logic, Leo should have gone. Okay, talk myself in enough circles. The action is we need to find a way to make this work. The solution that I'm currently pitching is use this to make 2 reds. No, use this to make 2 reds by itself. Use this to make... The only thing this makes is nothing. It's a single wild. This is 3 wilds. That makes 3 reds. This is 4 pushes and 1 item ship. 3, 3. With 4 pushes and 1 item ship, can we do it? 1 push, 2 push, 3 push, 1 item ship. If we do that, this is dead and this is dead. How bad is it for those to be dead? It's pretty bad. It makes this server unrecoverable, which means Mikey is not going to be summoning Mother's Ghost there. He's going to need to move first. Where's Raphael's hand? This should be the hand, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and these are the already discarded. But Mikey hasn't gone yet. Ref hasn't gone yet, correct? Yeah, he's still on his home square, so this is just misplaced. Okay. Nothing he can do to help. Nothing at all he can do to help. I think I would rather play uphill later, but save it now. Saving it isn't that worth it. We're gonna let yellow and green die. But see, it's not even just about dying, because then next turn we're at spark depletion levels. We still need to get at least 1 more Shellshock after this one. Just 1 more after this one. To hit the 4 count. 5 counts coup de grace, but... Fuck it, we're going for it. Alright, we're gonna let it die. That's the decision. Make 2 reds. Make 1 red. Push 2 reds. Nidum ship. Ghost a movement action. Move once. And then double push. Wait, how did we do that? Single push here. None of these are surrounded because... Wait, no, this counts for surrounding purposes. Oh, snap. Okay, so now we have to check strangles. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You guys were okay. All these squares are helped except this one. These guys have a pair. These guys have a pair. So these were okay. And these guys were okay. Okay. Somehow that worked out. 1 spare push left. I could do this. Drop a guardian here. Wreck that server. Kill its yellow. But the ghosting station lives. This spark still dies. Or this program still dies. I can push this down to here. The ghosting station dies. I cannot move the ghosting station itself. Uh, hmm. I think we had it right the first time. We're just going to surrender that server. This is sooner or later going to become an untenable board. We need to make sure that we're winning until that happens. So if we do this, that puts 3 sparks back into the game and keeps these servers clean. If I do this, it's slow. If I do this, that Guardian is not in as nice a place as this one. So we'll do this. There is one other consideration. Namely, I'll be able to do this later. Once I lose access to that server, I'm never going to get it back. I could use this thing's push right now to do this. If that doesn't... I need to get them out of circulation. I can do this, blow that up, and I still lose the ghosting station, so it's not like I save it. This, blow that up, save the ghosting station, lose the yellow. We're not playing for yellow production, so I think that's okay. If we do this, is that okay? Yeah. Feels extremely wrong, but it's actually okay. Okay. Now, with that set, let's see what good old Donnie is going to draw for his next big hand. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Deception Strike. That would have been useful last turn. Microbionics. RRI. He got the power hand to end all power hands, to be honest. I'm so tempted to let him go. But he did not get the copycat, which is unfortunate. That's what he really wants. He could go, and he could get his Shellshock off. But I would rather someone else who is less poised to get their Shellshock off goes. And it's going to have to be Raph, because he's the only one who has the potential to Shellshock to a location I want. If Raph goes next, he can move 1, 2, or is there any other way he can get there? He can move to get onto this server, is the bottom line. 1, 2. That uses his blues. And then he can use double yellow, double green, double red, double blue somehow. Does that work out? There's an extra red I don't like. No, he'll be 1 shy. He'll be 1 shy. If he uses the movements, he'll be 1 shy. If he shell shocks to where he is now, then we're back where we started. We have to set up this whole kill shot all over again. He could make a bunch of reds as sacrifices, or carry over a pink, lose a couple reds on the way, and then use the clone to make it happen. So he's not an ideal choice. He is a choice, he's not an ideal choice. Now Mikey is in even worse shape if I recall correctly. But we do need to get Mikey off that server somehow, and he's got double moves already. So if he spends 2 movements going from, either one of him, from here to here, why not? The ghosting station is probably reasonable. And then once he's there, and there's nothing he can cross to help him on the way, he produces 3 red sparks. He's not going to have even close to enough symbols at that point. Cloning this, even 2 red sparks even, cloning this will become double wild, double blue, double yellow, but he'll have a spare double yellow with no green potential. It's a choice. We can either set ourselves up for an easy shock much down the road, or we can take the shock we have now and worry about it later. And given just how fast this board is turning against us, I think taking the shock I think a shock in the hand is worth two in the bush. We've already had two shell shocks, so just one more. One more ought to do it. Reds, yellows, greens, blues, and a spare. One movement can get him onto this server, but this server is even worse than this one. If we let Mikey go, and Mikey finds a way to get the shell shock off, we'll kill a Guardian when this thing lands, but we're never going to be able to clear those spaces enough to put programs on all of them. So, is it Donatello? If Donatello does the shell shock, he can invite the Guardian here. When a Decker removes Mother's Ghost, place the Mother's Ghost on Space 6 on that Decker's current server. Not the avatar. The Decker. Does that mean what I think it does? That if I ghost my action to here to use the shell shock, I can keep this thing right where it is. This is a rules question. I have to look up the difference between an avatar and a ghost, and that is an extremely precise bit of bullshittery. But if I'm right, then Donatello can save me a whole lot of grief, and we can just reduce this entire game to focusing on good old Leonardo's server, who frankly has been a real powerhouse this whole game. Let's pull up the difference between a ghost and an avatar. If anything refers to your space or server, it means the location of your ghost token. However, if anything refers to your avatar, it specifically means your standee. To place the Mother's Decker on token space 6 of that Decker's current server. Oh, only Donatello could have done this. I think Donnie's my boy. I think Donnie's up. I think he has everything he needs. And if he's lacking in anything, there's a carbon clone to make sure it works. We won't be able to microbionics, but that's okay. Cowabunga! Alright. Donnie, you're up. Pink. It's a good thing we didn't go all in on protecting pink or something, because just look how bad it's gotten. It's already dying. We do have one more turn worth of sparks if I do nothing with sparks this turn. Okay. Minimum game plan is, of course, shell shock. And the fastest way to shell shock is triple. So that's double yellow, double whatever, double blue, and double green. Is this enough? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. No, we're short 2 symbols. This does it by itself. This is a shell shock unto itself, plus a deception spike. If I deception spike first, that's 1, 2 things I can give up while keeping the red net intact. That is a reasonable plan. But I think we can do better. I think we can reveal to wipe the shop. There's nothing in there that's helping us right now. And I think anything that gives us the whole hack shop is 8 cards large. This is actually kind of funny. There is a catalyst, but there's nothing that gives us extra purchases or pays 1 to get 2. The shop is essentially dead. Okay. All of these are executions. I could RRI and look ahead to see what that offers me. That does offer me copycat potential. It also offers me the potential to draw lots of greens. or lots of reds. Now I have no reds and no greens. So if I draw a double blue to replace my double blue, that is nothing lost. If I draw a double red to replace my double red, that's nothing lost. If I replace a double green to replace my double, that's nothing lost. I can safely draw any one card to replace this card, and I've lost nothing. But if I draw two greens specifically, that costs me immensely. Then I'm forced to use specifically green, yellow shenanigans to get done. What is the upside of drawing new cards? If I specifically hit the copycat, I can copycat the Deception Spike to put another spark back into play, and then actual Deception Spike to get another, and then I've done my due diligence of replacing the kill programs with something else so that the red net stays intact. How likely am I? God, it's math, isn't it? How likely am I to hit a bad combo? The only possible bad combo is hitting both of these cards. So the first card is safe. The second card has a 25% chance of being bad. And the third card has a higher than that. I'm giving up double blue to do this. But I also get rid of a dead card, which is the single yellow, when I do. And there's a good chance that Donnie never gets another turn this game. So this could be pure profit. These can all stay here to guarantee that I have what I need to win with. And I think we're doing this. So these two are going to go to the bottom of the deck. Read, Recept, Intercept. We'll draw two cards. I am shuffling and shuffling because obviously I looked so I don't want to have any cheaty face. And draw two. Okay, we got our movement back. And we got a green. It did not help us, but it did not hurt us. We are essentially a wash from where we started. Okay. Ideal world, we spend this to make two more reds. You know, ghost our action here, make two reds. And then we double green, double yellow, double blue, double red, zing. In an even more ideal world, we also Deception Spike. But I think then we're short on symbols. Nobody's got a ping nexus to feed us, right? Or any of those other 1 point... Oh, and this can be face down now. Nope, nobody's got anything. The only thing is the carbon clone. The carbon clone could potentially be extremely valuable. If we discard the carbon clone to play on the microbionics, that's 6 symbols plus double green. That's the shock right there. And that leaves me all of this as free value to do whatever I want with. But I am now leaving it at the mercy of the other turtles to set up their own shocks. And I would rather keep this as my ace in the hole for my second to last turtle, or my last turtle, depending on who's going to pull it off. So if that's true, and we haven't sparked yet, have we? No, we did. We sparked pink. Thank God. I think what this turn looks like is double green, double blue, double yellow, double red, triple red creation, which will only actually make two, given its location. And that leaves the kill net set up. We could use this to remove a spark and make one, so that's functionally a twofer, but then the net is damaged. Double, double, double. I'm trying so hard to make this work. What if we don't get fancy? straight cards, he has no means of getting there and shocking. It's one or the other. Straight cards, the Twins can get there, but once they're there, they don't have the means of shocking. They need the help. Damn, if only we had drawn the copycat. Okay. Let's play it out. Make 2 reds. Ghosting in action, sorry. Make 2 reds. Actually, hold the fun. Can we carry programs over there instead of making them over there? Yeah, if this is 2 movements, we could go 1. We could ghost this guy over to here, and then go 1 here. In fact, a single movement does that. With 2 movements... No, there's nothing we can do with 2 movements here. Yeah, but with a single movement, we can get rid of this guy, bring it up to here as a sacrificial lamb, and put a pink spark in there. Is that worth anything to me? No, because I'm still spending 2 symbols to bring 2 programs to play. I may as well just bring them to play. But this one's gonna die anyway. Yes, but I can't carry it because of the stacking limit of 1 for purples. This one I can... If I start my action here, move to here, I can't carry 2 programs. Because I'm not Leonardo. I'm Donatello. So, yeah. We had it right the first time. Make 2 reds. Never thought that would be the game winner. Execute a Shellshock with greens, blues, yellows, red. Shellshocker! Oh, sorry. Ghosting to here. Execute a Shellshocker. Mother dies. Donnie gets his stripe. But we remove 3 programs. 1, 2, 3. The net is not disrupted. And Mother's Ghost reappears in the same space because active Decker's space is here. And that's the turn. Okay, now we check for strangulations, and there are many. This is dead. This is dead. This is alive. This is alive. This is alive. These are alive. The whole net is miraculously alive, as is the last ghosting station and the last fighter spot. Donnie's last hand, if we were to use it, is enough to get off another shell shock, believe it or not. But that's unhelpful because it's not his need. These 3 have committed their shell shocks. These 2 have not. The heart of the Technodrome is looking pretty weak right now. I think the key decision is, are we going for a shell shock this turn, or are we going for spark removal? And the truth is, I think we're in such critical shape that we need to go for spark removal. Because if we roll pink, its base is loaded here. The next one on pink actually... Oh, then we're out of sparks as well. We need to remove 3 sparks or the game ends. So even if there is a way for example, Raph to get off a shell shock, which this hand by itself says there is, he also has to do an attack and win. Otherwise, it's game over. Then again, at that point I hit my limit, or my target of Decker's -1 shell shocks. So it's kind of hard to feel that bad about it. If we go with Leonardo, he's got all the movement but only 1 attack, and his current location is a ghosting station pointing at pink. So he can potentially emit EMP here or here and use that to clear 3 sparks in one attack. And then he can do another attack and another attack. So he can clear out a few sparks, assuming he rolls well even once. The issue is we don't know what server we're going to roll. And if it's the wrong server, if it's green, that's fine. Bases are loaded, but it's fine. If it's red, that's fine. If it's yellow, that's fine. If it's pink, that's ideal. If it's blue, 1, 3, and 4, every space in blue is... No, 2 and 3 are in mortal peril then. That's a problem. But that's fine. But then he just uses his movement to go into blue and uh and solve the problem. At that point, he just goes 1, 2 into blue's area and emits EMP to kill off a bunch of sparks. And then Night him ships or something. I don't know. Figures it out. But then it's kind of like treading water. We don't make any forward progress with that turn. Comes down to this. Am I going for 5 or am I going for 4? If I'm going for 4 shell shocks, I have a sure thing and a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. We roll it, and no matter where the sparks land, we take the shell shock and we win the game. If I'm going for the big kill, then we let Donatello go again, and we let him declare 1 attack. It's just 2 attacks, huh? Maybe 3, 4. Declare 4 attacks is not nothing. I say it like it's nothing. 4 attacks is still a reasonable amount. Or actually, better yet, we copycat the execute effect to move greens around, and then no, it's sparks we need to move, not greens. We do the double shift to make a new guardian. That buys us a turn. And to make a new guardian, that buys us another turn. With 2 turns to work with, we then turn our attention to killing things and setting up kills. Hang me, I think that's a good plan. We are also out of guardians if I do that. What does it mean to set up kills and kill things? Well, it means wherever there is a potential attack, 1, 2, 3 of them, we take it. We get some sparks back in the bin, and that's enough to cover the remaining turns. As long as nothing rolls blue, we're okay. The only issue I see with this plan is it in no way moves the other turtles to where they need to be, nor does it build a bridge for them to get there on. But I can copycat this psionic scatter to use... these are not omnicolor, it has to be green. Shoot, I can't move the purples with that ability. I think that if I declare 1 attack, 2 attacks, and then make more reds and rebuild the network and whatnot, this is still a reasonable turn for him. And I have the ace in the hole that I can just make more guardians to guarantee. So we would be putting 3 sparks back on, making guardians to make it safer, and then declaring a bunch of attacks. But then if I roll badly even once, I'm so at the mercy of my dice rolling. And this doesn't help me get ahead for having spare reds to sacrifice to the Shellshock. Are we just going to do 4 Shellshocks and call it a day? It is tempting. I think I don't want to surrender this network. I want the network to kick me out after 4. I don't want to just give up on it. So instead of shooting my own foot, we're gonna do it. We're gonna go all in. Donatello, or not all in. We're gonna try and go for the long game. Donatello, same server. He gets a spark on 1, skip 2, go to 6, and another on 1. That's we're out of sparks. We lose if we have to place another spark. Because all of these, mind you, stayed out because of the message. Otherwise, we would still have plenty of sparks to work with, as well as plenty of programs to work with. This shortage problem is still a thing. Okay. Well, this changes very little from our plan, but it does make it easier to make the guardians I want by doing a push and a push, and then just guardianing this server up to bejesus. With a double move, we're going to start by declaring an attack on 4. Yeah. We lose heavily. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3, and 4 versus 5. And there's no adjacency bonus, there's nothing to save us, so that's a loss. Okay. We're going to copycat the execute on psionic scatter to do this. Not sure that matters, but there's literally nothing else I would use it for, so may as well. Now what? This turn is looking worse all the time. We can produce 3 reds over here, move them over to here, and then it's just guardians, and then we only get 2 turns out of it. We can produce 3 reds over here. Move them into position. No, we can't do anything like that. There's no way we can ship all of the reds over. We'll hit a stacking limit either way. I hate to admit it, but I think we're not going to get 5. We're just going to get 4. Alright, push. Wait. Why are we making guardians here? Because if this servers don't matter, this one sure as hell doesn't matter. Let's make guardians on here somehow. Yeah. We can still set up a net here, gun to my head if I have to. Then we'll... Ghost in action to here. To move here. 1, 2. And then we'll produce... No. No. Oh, it's so much nastier. Oh, it's so much sweeter. Do you have any movement at all? Any movement at all? Yes, 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 yes. I love it when a game plan comes together. Uh, what we can do is, instead of producing a bunch of reds here, which is fine, just not ideal, we're gonna spend this. These were over here, right? Yeah. If we spend 2 movements ghosted to here, we could go 1, and then we could duality this to a blue, and we've made a whole road for Raphael to get to the blue network. Because this is not a white guardian, he can enter that space. Alternatively, we can spend 3. If this is a triple move, right? We can start from his space, go 1. Sorry. Start from this space, go 1. No, there's no other way. 2. 2 is the maximum. This to here and this flipping it feels really good. And that saves me a 3. So then I'll just produce more reds over there instead of carrying these greens over there. But it does get around the stacking limit. Like if I spend this to go 3 and I go 1, 2, 3, right? And then I RRI 1, 2, and then I flip this blue. I think that does it. Hang on. Did that do it? Sorry. I'm really thinking deeply because I think there's a way to make this so that Raphael in 1 turn can get to blue and Shellshock blue. And if that's the case, then Mikey has a shot. Just so you guys are seeing my plan unfold. This does this. This does 1. I can always go 1, 2, 3. But then how do I make a path for this guy? I can take this and go 1, 2. And then I can flip it. But flipping it doesn't work if I've moved it away. 1, 2, 3 only gets me 2 pieces here. 1, 2, 3 is not far enough. 1, 2, 3 gets me there. Ghosting a creation action to here, and then carrying them in, and then building a road doesn't set him up with a movable path. Moving 2 to go 1, 2, and then dualitying that builds the bridge. And then with 3 movements, he can go 1, carry these up here, come all the way back here. Can't move here because of the stacking limit. Damn stacking limit. Flip for the bridge. 1, 2, 3. Raph doesn't have to start on a blue. He can end on a blue. And that still solves the problem. And this is only possible because I have ghosting stations on every server. Otherwise, we wouldn't even be thinking of this. But watch. 3, right? So it's going to be 1, 2, No, sorry, that's too far away. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do this duality. Sorry, 3. 3 is fine. Yeah, so carry them all with me, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do this duality, and we're going to flip you to blue. And then we're going to do this, ghost it to here, which still has a ghosting station somehow, and carry it 1, 2. Now, with one movement, he can make it to blue. And then he can Shellshock blue. Donatello, you are out. Raph, you're up. We worked really hard to give you this opportunity, so dear God, please don't screw it up. We've got the double red, double yellow, double green, double blue, and a single wild. That's theoretically everything we need. Sparks on green, does that cost us the game? Almost, but not quite. Almost, but not quite. Game. We don't have any more guardians to place. I'm pretty sure that's it. I don't think there's anything that we can do that affects or changes this outcome. We don't have any of those last-minute ginger cools. And we did take a risk by intentionally making as many guardians as we could last turn. As much as I would love to retcon it, that's fair and square. Sometimes you just roll green. And you don't have the guardians. And other times you just roll the die again. And it's green again. Yeah, no, by all rights, 3 shell shocks is still very respectable. But if you guys think I'm not going to finish on a high note, you're crazy. So, move 1, and use that movement to get onto the path and move over here. Shell shock with everything we've got. And we'll use that shell shock to kill Mother and put her back on here. We have to remove 3 programs, and we of course remove these 3. Then Mikey takes the last turn of the game. Roll any server, except green. Except, yeah, yellow's fine. Spark on yellow. And from here, it's double red, double blue, double yellow, single wild, but we can turn that into a double wild. Or if we want to do this officially, we can start with this guy as blue, turn that into double blue, double wild for greens, double yellows, and double reds. And that's Mikey's kill shot. And that's how it would have gone if I hadn't rolled green. And that's how you finish an epic Shellshock run. Cowabunga, dudes. This has been quite a long run. I do feel like it would have had a fairly anticlimactic finish right there, but hopefully you all see what I was strategizing for, whether or not it definitely played out. Sometimes you just roll it and you roll badly, and I will admit I didn't count just how full that server was to realize that one more hit would have killed it. I thought I had a bit more Lebensraum there. Certainly. But nope, it was too full of sparks. One less would have made all the difference. I love this. Figuring out that bridge strategy was king. I love that I figured out ghosting to here would have kept the thing where it needed to be. And while we did destroy the Technodrome and we did half kill the heart of the Technodrome, full killing the heart of the Technodrome, not really. Had to massage those numbers a little. Ugh. All right, give me just one moment. I've got some final thoughts that I'd like to share with y'all, but I want to spend one moment setting up before I do that. Let me pause this real quick. Alrighty, so On the whole, I think this went rather well, for what it was. I do think that five players single-handed is insanity, but also five player in general I don't think works super well. I think if you limit yourself to just very basic objectives, sure, you can make it work. But so many of the objectives are linked to or insistent on or demand four deckers at most, and so many of the chit counts are benefited by staying at that count that it gets kind of extreme really fast. I had to choose the, let's call it one less decker than it is, options so many times. So it's not reasonable to me to think that that's just a standard you can apply across the board. I loved the theming of this run. I loved the whole turtle power thing that we had going. If I had the whole thing to do over again, I don't think I'd have done it differently, but I also think that this is not something I'm going to do a whole bunch. Um, I love how the spider forced me to think in terms of guardians are good because it's like killing three sparks at once. That did bite me at the very, very end, but until then it was a very valid strategy. Um, Rupert Stans is super fun on teams. I'm not even calling him Splinter here. He's super fun on teams. I don't know how good he is solo, but it's having these purple programs that you can otherwise never use felt really slick this game. I hope you all noticed how the main deck ran out repeatedly. Another facet of having so many characters is how deeply you can dig into the deck when you're doing it. Uh, I had an absolute blast running this. I recognize that there have been a few major flubs. Just to recap a few of my mistakes that I caught. I'm sure you all who have watched this video have caught more. Um, the gold phase, I definitely put the message queue in backwards. I had blue either too early or too late. I forget which one. It's no big deal on that one because the way I had the board set up, I was pretty much doing whatever I needed to for that. There was a couple times in watching old videos I realized that I thought the red treated the red attack die like the gray one. So I was adding the gray to my score and the red to theirs. There was a couple key losses that should have been wins that I got overlooked that way. But I also flubbed it the other direction sometimes, so it's hard to be too upset about that. It's not like it was tilting the outcome. Oh, what else did I overlook? I think that's the big stuff. I guess one oversight ending the gold phase with one hacker not having gone yet, but simultaneously doing the message queue five times. I guess I should have gone for another three turns, but I'm glad we didn't because A, that was the longest video already, and that was getting a little bit exhausting of resources. In theory, what I should have done is spent the first three turns of Gold Phase killing Sparks and wasting time, and then gone all in on finishing the message at the end. But, you know, if I had done that, then we wouldn't have had as cool a video. So it's cool to see it working under shortage conditions. Deckers remains one of my favorite board games, and the amount of energy and fun and time I've had off of this is just superlative. Um, I have an idea that's brewing in my head for something I want to try, which is kind of the opposite direction. I've come up with this extraordinarily long series. I'd like to see if there's a way to make a short one, either me speedrunning or using time turns or coming up with a way to shorten it around on purpose. But that's neither here nor there. Um, that about cinches it all. Uh, Thank you so much for watching. Cowabunga. I hope you had fun. I'm gonna try to put together a time lapse of this whole thing later on, but until then, thank you guys for watching. Happy hunting out there, and always be running. I will see you guys next time.